Okay, this week's Parasha, page 1068, is Parashat Ki Tavo. So when the Jewish people come into the land, they'll have a lot of mitzvot to do. A lot of mitzvot are in the land of Israel. The Jewish people were in the desert for 40 years, and they're being told that they'll have many more mitzvot when they make it into the land of Israel. So what is this mitzvah? Let's read the verse. V'haya, when it will be the time. Ki tavo la'aretz, when you come into the land, asher Hashem Elokecha, Hashem your God, noten lecha, will give to you, nachala, to inherit. And you'll conquer, you'll settle over there. V'yerashta v'yeshavta ba. You'll conquer, you'll settle in the land. Velakachta, you should take mireshit, from the beginning, from the first, kol pri, the fruit of the land, asher tavi me'artzecha, that will grow in the land, bring it to Hashem Elokecha, v'samta batene, you put it in a basket, v'halachta, you'll go, el hamakom, to the place, asher yivchar Hashem. So when you have these fruit that will grow in Israel, the first fruit that will grow in the land of Israel, is a mitzvah to take from the fruit, put it in a basket, and come and travel to the Beit HaMikdash and bring it as an offering to the Beit HaMikdash. Now, this mitzvah has a name. You know what's the name of this mitzvah?
Bikurim?
Yes, Bikurim. Bikurim. Bikurim comes from the word Bechor. Everybody's familiar what's a Bechor?
To choose.
Firstborn, right? A child, the firstborn, is called a Bechor. So the first fruit that grow is called Bikurim, right, from the root of Bechor, the same idea. So what is this mitzvah, guys? This is a very special mitzvah. The mitzvah is that when you have from the 7 species, right, Israel was blessed with the 7 species, the right, grains, the wheat, barley, pomegranate, olive, dates. So you have a mitzvah when one of the 7 species, the first one that grows, you planted, right? A pomegranate tree, a fig, right? And the first one that is coming out, you have a mitzvah to put a sign on it and to take it down from the tree when it's ready and to travel with it to Yerushalayim and to say thank you to Hashem. So now, what is the idea behind this mitzvah? The idea behind this mitzvah is the Torah is about training us that we should be connected to Hashem, that we have this relationship with Hashem, and to understand and to know that all what we have is coming from Hashem. So when the farmer has this fruit that just ready, right, the first fruit that is ready, he's not taking it to himself. What he's doing is taking it, putting it in a basket, and traveling to Yerushalayim to say thank you to Hashem. The idea is that we do all these things to build ourselves and making ourselves understanding that all what we have comes from Hashem. We have nothing from our own. All what we have is from Hashem. And again, when the farmer sees the first fruit, you can imagine how happy he is. And he's saying, okay, this is not for me. This is I'm taking and traveling to Yerushalayim. Not only that, the Rambam brings down that they used to do this mitzvah with a big deal. They used to collect a lot of people together. The farmers will get together. Each one will bring from his field the bikurim, the first fruit that grow, pomegranates, olives, right, dates, okay? And they used to put it in nice baskets and gather together and do a parade to Yerushalayim to make from it a whole big deal. When they used to come to Jerusalem, the people of Jerusalem will greet them and wait for them and say, oh, how you doing, guys, from up north? How are you doing? How are you doing, right? And they'll make from it a whole big thing. The idea is that we're going public and advertising and getting more people excited for the mitzvah. So this was done in a they say, the Rambam says that also they used to put it in a nice basket, like I said. They used to make a beautiful wagon the ox. They used to put the decoration on the ox to make him nice, right? So they made from it a whole big thing, a whole big tumult, showing, inspiring people to do the mitzvah. More people should be doing mitzvahs. And that's the idea of Hakarat Hatov. Hakarat Hatov is to recognize all the good that Hashem is giving to us. And this idea of Hakarat Hatov is a very important idea, because only one that is really recognizes and sees and believes and feels what Hashem is giving to him, he really will serve God in a different way. When a man has a lack of Hakarat Hatov, of feeling, understanding how much Hashem is giving to him, he'll always be missing. He's not serving Hashem in the right way. Only after you understand that Hashem is giving to you so much, you'll be serving him in a different way. And that's very important, this idea of Hakarat Hatov. It's not only man to God, it's also man to man. This idea that you have to recognize, appreciate when somebody does to you something good, applies from man to man and man to God. So this week's Parsha, you see it that, the farmer should travel, take his olives, take his pomegranates, take his dates, and join the people, join the group, traveling to Yerushalayim and making it from a whole big deal, showing that we are happy to do the mitzvah. We recognize that all comes from Hashem. When the man makes it to the Beit HaMikdash, he prays to Hashem, says thank you to Hashem, and he goes back. He says, I'm bringing this to the God that took us out of Egypt. I'm bringing this to the God that helped us, redeemed us out of Egypt, and brought us to this land. And I understand that all what I have is coming from him. Let me show you this idea of Hakarat Hatov that we see it last week also. By the way, I mentioned to you that the Rambam says that they used to do it in a gathering together, a group of people, the more the better, to show that we are happy, enjoying doing it with happiness, doing the mitzvah. So there's a story that was told. It was a rabbi named Rabbi Yosef Shlomo Kahanaman. He's the rabbi that founded the yeshiva in Bnei Brak Ponovich. Talking in the 1940s, was a disaster going on over here. The people are barely coming out from the ashes, of Europe after the Holocaust, and was not much going on over here. The Frum community wasn't that strong. You had a few shuls, a few this, but it wasn't a yeshivot, didn't exist yet. And he's a Holocaust survivor, and he came to the town called Bnei Brak, and he says, I want to build a yeshiva. And when people heard him saying, you want to build a yeshiva, what are you talking about? Here, where, who, how, what? How you'll raise money for a building, how you'll have students. What are you talking about? They called him Yosef the Dreamer, Like Yosef, the brother, had dreams. So they said, you're the Yosef the Dreamer. And he answered back and he says, yeah, the difference is that I dream during the day, and have visions to do during the day. So anyways, he was traveling, and this happened, guys. He raised money, he got raised an unbelievable building, has students. Until today, it's one of the largest yeshivas in Israel. He was known, he was traveling for the yeshiva, raising money. So it comes to him, the story is that he meets the CEO of the Hebrew University, or one of the universities in Israel, and he approaches the Panovich Rav and says to him, listen, we both came back from fundraising. I just come for 2 days, I go to certain people, get big fat checks, and I'm done. How come you have to travel so much, and it's so difficult for you? You have to travel so much, go around so much, talk to people so much, why it's so hard for you? So he answered him, and he said to him like this: there are 2 mitzvahs in the Torah. One mitzvah of bikurim that we saw, that a man travels to say thank you to Hashem for the fruit that he got, that are growing in his land. And like I said to you, it was done in a group, and also it's brought down that they used to ask people for the directions. People are coming from different places in Israel. So they used to knock on the doors and ask for directions for Yerushalayim. And people ask him, what are you doing in Yerushalayim? Well, we have this Thanksgiving to Hashem, right? We have this Bikurim to bring to Hashem. So they're getting more people, like I said, involved, inspired to doing the mitzvah. So they're going around and asking for the directions. This is one mitzvah of Bikurim, traveling. There's another mitzvah in the Torah. When somebody killed accidental, you know what he's supposed to do? Go to the Ir Miklat, city of refugees, right? He has to go to there at a certain time. Over there in that mitzvah, it says there are certain places in Israel, right? There's a city of refugees. That's the shelter for the guy that killed accidental. It says that the Beis Din, right, the Jewish court, have to create paths with signs, direction, right, to help him to get there fast. So the Panovich Rav asked this fellow, right, that he met, he asked him, what's the difference? Here in the mitzvah of Bikurim, the other way around, no directions, no signs, people are knocking on the doors, right? This is before the days of Waze. People are knocking on the doors and asking for directions. There's no mitzvah to put up signs, where's Jerusalem? But the guy that killed accidental is a mitzvah to put up signs to help him to get fast to the shelter. What's the difference? Why when here the people are traveling, giving the gift to Hashem, no signs? And for the man that killed accidental is a mitzvah to have signs to get him faster to the city of refugees.
So nobody tries killing him?
Okay.
Is his life's in danger for the guy who's coming, who's like running to the city of refuge versus the people who are bringing their like first fruit offering they're extending the mitzvah, they're making the mitzvah longer, that's why there's no signs.
Okay, so it's a simple understanding, like you probably understand, guys. The man is on a rush. He wants to rush to the shelter, right? So that's why we want to help him to get him fast to the shelter, right? And that's why we have a mitzvah to put up signs to make it easier to him to get to there, to reach there. But yes.
Like when someone Chas V'Shalom does an avera, it's not like recommended to like tell everyone you're avera because.
Here you go. Very nice. You heard what he said, guys? And that's what the Panovich Rav said. Poor guy did accident, right? He killed somebody accidental. Terrible, right? He has the poor guy run to the city of refugees. There's no point of advertising it and letting other people knowing about this. So let's get him quick to there, right? What's the point to get more people involved here? So let's just straight to the point. Do the best that you could. Get him to that city. Res Shalom, right? But bringing Bikurim, we want more people to know, right? Here you go. We came from the Golan Heights. We came from Tiberias. Look what we're carrying. Look what we're doing a mitzvah. And we know, guys, if you inspire somebody, he'll also do a mitzvah. For those of you that come to the Navi, right? We're learning now Shmuel, right? I don't know why you want to miss that. Yeah, we were going back to Shmuel. So it says that Elkanah, this guy who's living in one of the cities in Jerusalem, not in Jerusalem, sorry, one of the cities in Israel, and he'll travel to go to it was before the days of the Mishkan, before the days of the Beit HaMikdash, before the days that the temple was built. So they had the Mishkan, the tabernacle. It says that every year he used to take a different route to go to the Mishkan, to go to the tabernacle. Why? To encourage others to do the mitzvah. Look, I'm traveling, you come also, right? That's always the idea, to try to maximize the mitzvah and inspire others to do the mitzvah. And that's what the Panovich Rav said to him. You're collecting for a school, for a university, what's the big deal? So Hashem works it out for you, 2-3 checks and you're done. But me, I'm collecting for yeshiva, for people to study Torah. Hashem wants me to approach and to see more people. So he doesn't want me with 2-3 checks and I'll be done. He wants me to go to 1,000 people and to go over and to meet them and to talk to them and to inspire them, right? That I'm collecting for a place of Torah, to get them involved also. He doesn't want it to be done quickly. He wants me that I should take the time, take the efforts, get more people involved, not less people. That's the story with the Panovich Rav. Okay, guys, let's go back So this idea of Hakarat Hatov, to recognize, to understand this idea, to appreciate when all what Hashem is doing to us, you could find it already. It's very important. It's a very fundamental idea, and you can find it earlier. Let me show you something. Go back a minute to 1046. That's last week's Parsha. So I'm going to verse 15, Pasuk Tet Vav. So this is teaching us a man is married to two wives. He has two wives, one he likes and one he doesn't like. And what happens is, guys, who has the firstborn? The one that he doesn't like. Right? So the Torah is teaching us, oh, you had two wives, one you like and one you don't like. And it happens to be that the firstborn, the Bechor, will be to the wife that you don't like. You can skip him. He has all the Torah rights for the firstborn. Don't say, well, he's born to the wife that I don't like. I'm going to skip him and give all the rights of the firstborn to the son that came from the wife that I like. Right? Can he do that? The answer is no. He can't do that. You can't skip him. You can't put him in his side and say, well, I want to give to the son from the wife that I like. But look how it's written. Let me show you something. So 15, anybody has 1046? Kitihena, when it will be, leish, a man, shtei nashim, he'll have two wives, right? Two women. Ha'achat ahuva, one that he likes, he loves. V'achat tznoa, one that he hates, he doesn't like. Ve'yaldu lo banim, they gave birth to sons. Ha'uva v'hasnua. So they'll have children. V'haya haben habechor lasnua. V'haya haben habechor lasnua. What did I read now, guys?
And it will be that the firstborn is born to the wife of the hated.
It will be that the firstborn will be born to the wife that is hated. Do you have any problem in this verse? If you're writing the Torah, would you use a different word? Instead it would be?
What if?
Very good. Listen carefully, guys. The Torah should say really, if it will happen to be. If it will happen to be that the firstborn will be born to the woman that is hated, so he can't skip him. And it doesn't say it. It says, Vehaya, that's what's going to be. Meaning, the Torah is teaching us a lesson. Hashem will organize it that this will happen. And the idea is over here, guys, there's always a message that you could derive from here. And the idea is, one second, what is going on over here? Why this man doesn't like his wife? So you might say, okay, he has good reasons why he doesn't like his wife. You know, she did certain things, she has a problem. But many times, guys, it's a lack of Hakarat Hatov. The man doesn't appreciate enough what his wife is doing for him.
Wow.
And that's what the Torah is saying. You don't appreciate enough what your wife is doing for you. You know what Hashem will organize for you? The first baby born will be from the wife that you don't like. And you won't be able to escape from it. The firstborn will be him, not the wife that you like, love. You didn't get it, man. You're not appreciating enough what your wife is doing to you. And this happens a lot because, right, we are selfish. People care for themselves. Oh, why the wife is not doing this and why the wife is not doing this. Chassan classes, right? Why the wife is not doing this and that. You know what? How you say love in Hebrew? Ahava. The commentaries explain, if you come to marriage waiting to get, it's only a question, what I'm getting from it, this is not going to last a long time. Because sooner than later, it's going to be a crash over here. The husband is not getting what he wants, and she's not getting what she wants, so why are we together? Ahava comes also from the word have, to give. The Ramban, listen to this, guys. The Ramban, in the very beginning, in Bereshit, what it says, you know that male and female were created in one body, right? Everybody's familiar. And what does Hashem say? Lo tov heyot ha'adam levado. It's not good to man to be lonely in one body. Meaning, it's not good to be in this format. I should do it in two separate bodies. Not one unit, two units. The Ramban points out and says like this, you know what is the problem? When his one body is one unit, he's not giving. It's the same body. Lo tov, it's not good. Lihiot adam levado. It's not good when a man is one body, one unit. He's not giving. He's giving the whole time to himself. Eselo ezer kenegdo. Let me separate them. And male will be, right, one unit, and female will be another unit, the second unit, and they have to give to each other. Eselo ezer, I'll do to him help kenegdo. And this is the world that we are, guys. This is this. Olam chesed ibana. It's all about what you're giving, not what you're taking. Okay? And this is a fundamental idea. Man was brought to the world to give, not to take.
Wow.
Olam chesed ibana. That's what the world is about the giving, not the taking. So, this is the story, guys. So this is, I think, a very fundamental idea, and I think it's absolutely a true explanation. The Torah says it's going to be. It's not if. It's going to be. Hashem will organize it. You didn't get the message. You don't appreciate it enough. You're just selfish thinking about yourself. Oh, why the other night it wasn't dinner, what I wanted, and why now she's going to her mother and not doing this, and why, right? And you forget about all the good things that she's doing for you, right? Okay, another place that we find it. Can we marry in Egyptians? So, very good. Who was that? Look what the Torah says about different nations. Some of them we can accept them for a few generations, and some of them forever. Look at this. Okay. Look at the page 1054. 1054 verse. Which verse I'm looking for? Yeah. Okay, let's start with verse 8. Lo teta'ev, you shouldn't hate too much Edomi, the Edomites, ki achicha, who is your brother. Lo teta'ev Mitzri, you shouldn't, right? He shouldn't be disgusted by you. You shouldn't hate him too much. Egyptians, ki ger hayita be'artzo, you lived in his land. Banim asher yivaldu lehem, children that will be born for them, dor shlishi, third generation, yavo bekal Hashem. The third generation, we could accept them, bring them, they could convert, right? We could accept them. Third generation Egyptian. He is accepted, okay? So the Egyptian third generation is fine. Why? Because they hosted us. We were there for a while. Now, did we have a good life there in Egypt? Well, for sure the last years, right? The question is how much? The Jewish people were in Egypt for 210 years, and for sure half of it was miserable. Right? They put them to slavery, they took away the children, they killed the children. So the Torah says, well, even though they did to you those terrible things, but still you were there and you lived there, right? And you had a life over there. You have to remember that. You lived in that land, right? So you can't hate them forever, and the third generation you could accept. Great, unbelievable. Verse 4, go back to verse 4. We don't know who they are today. We don't know. The whole world today is a mix. We don't know to point out. But it was a nation called Edom. Amalek comes from Edom.
Why were they called her brothers?
Esav. Okay. But again, we don't know who they are today to point out, yeah?
But it doesn't say we cannot be with Amalek himself. That's what it's.
Amalek is the exception that we have to destroy. That's right.
For Adam.
Yeah, from Edom.
Everything else from Adam is.
That's right. Except Amalek, yes. Yeah. Okay, verse 4. Lo yavo Amoni. We shouldn't accept from the nation Ammon. Umoav bekal Hashem. Gam dor asi, even the 10th generation. Lo yavo bekal Hashem. Ad olam, forever. What is so bad about these people, guys? What they did so bad? Look at this, verse 5. Aladvar, for the reason, asher lo kidmu otchem, they didn't greet you, they didn't go towards you. Belechem, with bread, umayim, and water, baderech, on the way, betzetchem mimitzrayim. The Jewish people were coming out from Egypt. They passed by these people, these nations, Ammon and Moab, and they didn't send out cans of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, right, to greet the Jewish people. They didn't offer them bread or water. Okay, so therefore, we can accept them forever. Now, the first question that you should ask, one second, what's going on here, guys? Other nations did offer us bread and water? Did somebody else offer us bread and water? Ammon and Moab didn't, right? So here you go, here's this nation traveling in the desert. They didn't offer them bread and water. The other nations did do it? No? So why are we punishing them? Who is Ammon and Moab, guys?
The sons of
Descendants of Lot. Who saved Lot?
Abraham.
Avram Avinu. You see what's going on over here? This is hundreds of years later. These people should know, well, who saved your great-father? Who saved Lot? Wasn't it Avram that saved his life? And they should know that. And they had hundreds of years later, when the descendants of Avram Avinu are traveling in the desert, no water, no bread, right? They had to give them. They had to go and give them. They had to go out of the way. And they didn't. So this is a lack of Hakarat Hatov. The Torah is saying they didn't do it and they had to do it. The Torah was expecting from them to do it. They had to remember that Avram Avinu saved the great-grandfather. They wouldn't be here if Avram Avinu wouldn't save his great-grandfather. So,
Who exactly?
Lot. So Avram Avinu, he's the one that saved Lot, and they don't recognize that, they didn't appreciate that. This is the lack of Hakarat Hatov, and these people, Hashem is saying, we're not going to accept them. I'll show you the other way around, guys. Yitro, who is Yitro? Moses' father-in-law. When the Jewish people come into Israel and they conquer the land, there's a lot of wars going on. And the children, the descendants of Yitro, are living in Israel. They settle in Israel as well. His descendants make it into Israel, they make it in. And the Jewish people are about to fight one area. It's actually the Amalek, the three Amalekim in Israel. And they go and they give notice to the children, to the descendants of Israel, stay awake, right? We're about to attack this place, leave this place. Why? Because remember that these people are descendants of Yitro. So you see the difference? The Torah is expecting from us to recognize the idea and to live with the way of Hakarat Hatov. You should know, you should appreciate when one is doing to you good. It doesn't matter for how many years, hundreds of years later, you have to remember it's all connected. Yes, if Avram Avinu saved Lot, they had to understand that they are here only because of Avram Avinu. They had to recognize that, they had to understand that, and they didn't. Just like Yehoshua infirms the descendants of Yitro, years and years later, right, that, right, hey, get out of this way, we don't want to kill you, we're about to attack this area. This idea of Hakarat Hatov, this is just, I showed you a few places how we have to live it, and it's a very fundamental idea. If you appreciate what Hashem did to you, you live in a different way, you appreciate Hashem in a different way. How many commandments we have? 10 commandments, right? And if you notice, it's 5 are men to God, and 5 are man to man, right? Am Hashem your God, don't use God's name in vain, right? God, remember to guard the Shabbat, right? All of those is man to God. And then, right, don't kill, don't steal, right, is man to man. In the 5 commandments, the first one is honoring your parents. And the question is, why is this there? Why honoring the parents is in the first 5, right? To honor the parents. It should be man to man. Honor your parents. It should be man to man. It's not man to God. obviously it's all related, right? When you're keeping, when one is keeping the Torah mitzvahs, even it's man to man, he's doing, it's a mitzvah in the Torah and it's man to Hashem. But I mean directly, right? Not using God's name in vain, it's directly man to God. So why honoring the parents is over there in the first 5. Say the commentaries, if you appreciate what your parents do to you, and you'll understand what all they did to you, you'll appreciate all what Hashem did to you as well. So honoring the parents, it's over there in the first 5, because that will help you. If you understand really and appreciate all what your parents do to you, you'll appreciate all what Hashem did to you. So this is a very fundamental idea, guys. Like I said to you, Hatov. I just want to share with you another thing, guys. How should we do the mitzvah? What's the best way of doing a mitzvah? Very good. How you know that?
When you give tzedakah, you have to stand up and smile and be polite and.
Right. Okay.
It's time we drink to do a mitzvah out of simcha than yira.
So in this week's Parsha, it says, right, a lot of cursing. That if the people won't behave, won't act, they'll abandon Hashem. Hashem will punish them. And then it says a very, very interesting verse, that all that is happening to you because you served Hashem without happiness. So tachat asher lo avadet et Hashem Elokecha besimcha.
What's the pasuk?
Where's the pasuk? That's what exactly I'm looking here. So page 1080. Look at open page 1080. So here's really a list of terrible things, really terrible things that could happen to the Jewish people if they don't follow the Torah and mitzvahs. They'll be punished in miserable ways. And look what it says in verse 47. Okay, 1080, 47. So all this is happening to you because you didn't listen to Hashem. Tachat asher lo avadeta, you didn't serve Hashem Elokecha besimcha. You didn't serve Hashem with happiness. Uvetuv levav, with a good heart. Mirov kol. So meaning, it could be a situation that the Jewish people were doing the mitzvahs, but they did it without happiness. They did it without joy. And that's a lack, because it means only the way that we are created and how we act and how we behave, if we're happy, we do it with a full heart. But if we're not happy, we're doing it, I have to do it, eh? So I'll do it anyways, right? What else, right? So then you're missing. The Torah is not about the actions. The Torah is about the heart. Hashem wants us to do it with a full heart, with happiness. And the Rabbeinu Bechai, one of the early commentaries, explained that applies for every mitzvah. It's a mitzvah in the Torah to do every mitzvah with happiness. Because when you're doing it with happiness, you're doing it with a full heart. Otherwise, it's just like whatever. I have to do it, right? So I'll do it. But that, you got it wrong. The Torah wants us to do it, to come to the point, guys, that we understand that this is the right thing to do. The Torah and the mitzvahs are the good things for us. And that's what will make us better people. And that's what will cause you, if you know that this is the right thing to do, you'll do it with happiness. If you understand, if you come to the point, to the level, this is the right thing to do, this is what I want to do, because this is the best thing to do, then you do it with happiness. If you're doing it because you're forced to do it, so that you'll do it exactly like it sounds like. Okay, so whatever, I have to do it. But if you're doing it because you want to do it, because it's the best thing to do it, you do it with happiness. I'll just end up with a story, guys. So, happiness, we should have the joy, the simcha of doing a mitzvah. And like I said, the Rabbeinu Bechai says that it's a mitzvah and it's a separate mitzvah to do every mitzvah with happiness. So, for those of you that were in the morning in the Gemara class, I said I'll share with you a story. So, it's a famous businessman. I could say his name. He said it in public. His name is Ralph Hertzker. He runs one of the major hedge funds. And when he was young, he was just getting into the business. He was a young man, and he was doing very well. And he has one day this mega meeting with different businessmen in America, not in a sort of a Jewish place, and with not Jewish people. And he was hesitating, should I wear the kippah or no? And he's thinking, yes, no, should I wear the kippah, right? He's young, he's hesitating, what is the right thing? He's sensitive, he's going to this big meeting, maybe I'll blow it because of the kippah, and we're talking about millions of dollars, so maybe I shouldn't wear it, maybe I should wear it, right? Anyways, he didn't wear the kippah. He comes to the meeting, and 10, 15 big businessmen over there, and one of them screams to him, Ralph, where's your yarmulke? I was told that a Jew is coming to meet us. And where is your yarmulke? I was waiting to see a young businessman walking with a yarmulke. So he said from that point on, he got the idea that he shouldn't be shy and shouldn't be embarrassed. And from that day, he didn't leave the kippah, guys. That's the idea. Guys, we have opportunities in life, and we don't want to miss them. Every day is an opportunity. Every hour is an opportunity. You have more things to do. Act, live, study in the right way, accomplish with happiness. Don't miss opportunities.